I'm here because I am adamant about us getting our border secure.
I'm tired of the border being wide open and all the, like this says, sex slaves and fentanyl coming through.
This should be a bipartisan thing. It shouldn't be political. Everybody should be upset about trafficking and drug cartels and deaths and fentanyl and everything.
But we can't just have this continue on because just hurting American citizens just to survive. We need to make a change. We need to stop, close the border until we figure out what we can do.
A border wall raises a lot of issues. Also the environment too. I just think it's a little overkill.
Would you say that you're fine with people like criminals and such coming into the country?
Well, obviously not, but I mean, obviously if people are coming illegally, you can't screen that, but I guess.
So would you want to stop criminals coming into the country?
Well, yeah, but.
You think a border wall would help stop them?
Yeah, but I don't think I would want a border wall, so I think there are other ways. And I'm still all right with people coming illegally, really.
You think having borders is racist?
Yeah.
That's fair to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Having a border is racist?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
But I'm going to keep walking.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
No question about it.
No.
Do you think that having a border is an expression of racism? It's a tool of racism?
Yeah, it's control. So they automatically racist. They think that we're better than them because why? Because we're on this side and they're on that side?
Guys, we're in Eagle Pass right now where we're experiencing firsthand the humanitarian crisis that is going on our southern border.
What's happening on our border is absolutely inexcusable. I'm talking about lawlessness, poverty, murder, the whole 9 yards.
We've got a lot of folks that arrive who have no way, no system, no friends, no parents, no family to take care of them. They arrive traumatized and they end up on the street. And how is that humane?
If you could see that shipping container right there, that's where they keep the deceased. That one right there next to the building. If they have their ID documents on them, and we can notify their consulate, so at least let their family know. But the downside of that is the families don't have money to transport their loved one back home. So what winds up happening is we have to, a lot of times, inter them here locally in our local county cemetery. And unfortunately, they just get a pauper's grave.
The coyotes, they don't care at all. They'll wait until after they've already made it to Houston, or after they've made it to where they're going, or after they've been caught by law enforcement. Then they'll say, hey, we left this person behind at this location and he was either already dead or he was almost dead. And that'll be days later. People are just getting left behind to die all the time, every day. As if nobody knows about it, then you can't do anything about it, right?
And last year, we had 17 people die in the desert because of the illegal aliens crossing. I put 15 of those in the body bag myself. Wow. What's hard about our job is when you start dealing with women and children that are being trafficked across the border, being smuggled across the border. That's what's hard about our job, is seeing that daily. They're humans too. They're no different than me and you. They're coming to the United States because they want to come for economic reasons and work.
Right now we're at the Kinney County Sheriff Department. We're right next to some private land where they say they're looking for a mother and her child. They're looking for after a bailout. When these migrants are caught, they bail out of the car, they hop the fence on a private property. While they're looking for this mother and her suspected child, they're also looking for somebody who's suspected to be armed and dangerous, has affiliations with the cartel. This is an everyday occurrence for them. This is something that happens all the time. And it's pretty wild that you have these migrants, these families, these mothers and children who are really in the same bunch as these armed and dangerous criminals.
We just got finished up with the Kinney County Sheriff Department. We were out there for a couple hours and they were still unable to find this mom and her suspected child. The deputy sheriff was talking about how they routinely find bodies in this stretch of the border because the heat is so high. A lot of times they don't have water, they don't have food. It's wild to think that this mother and her child could be dead any second now if CBP, if these sheriff officers don't find them.
They would start discarding stuff that they had because they couldn't take so much stuff with them. And you'd find a lot of condoms alongside the river. And I would interview the women or ask them, why do you have birth control? Why do you have condoms with you? And then their response is, well, if we're going to be sexually assaulted, at least we have protection. We can ask the man, at least, wear a condom to either prevent a pregnancy or a sexually transmitted disease. A lot of women, they're traveling with their children, on their own. They'll be looking for some type of safety. So they'll look to the men in the group, say, hey, well, if I stay with you, will you take care of me? And they don't have anything to give them, so they offer themselves.
Basically, they take women and young girls and tie them to the tree and rape them right there. Down in the Darien Gap, they're providing women with what they call rape kits. In the event they get raped, it'll prevent them from getting pregnant, it'll prevent them from getting an STD. And there's various spots from the Darien Gap up through Central America into Mexico where they can replenish these supplies.
To think that somebody is bringing their child through all of this, as an average everyday American, we can't even comprehend the types of things that 4 or 5-year-old child was exposed to via the cartel or other nations' border crossings getting from Venezuela to here. Because from a humanitarian standpoint, this is a death sentence to make this journey. So if that is the argument, right, we should be shutting the border down immediately.
We're putting these people's lives in danger. Our government is.
The liberals need to understand that these tragedies are a direct result of them encouraging people to come uncontrolled and illegally to the United States. Yeah. They would not suffer if they came in a controlled manner. There would not be the rape of children. There would not be the exploitation of women. There would not be the separation of families. That never happens when people come to the United States legally. They would not have suffered if they had come legally, but that would have taken time. People just want to get here quickly.
A country without borders isn't a country at all. For the sake of Americans and migrants alike, it's time we finally do the real compassionate thing and secure our southern border for good. You can contribute to this cause by completing our survey today at PragerU.com.